Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at a top 10 early rookie card and low pop cards for one of the all-time great Philadelphia Athletics pitchers, Albert Chief Bender. So the first card we're going to look at is one of two rookie card options that there are for Bender. This one is a 1902 to 1911 W600. Was issued by the Sporting Life newspaper. Sporting Life was like I said, a newspaper that covered not only baseball but various sports at the turn of the century. The W600s were cabinet cards where you had a photographer's original photograph, and it was mounted on a thick cardboard backing. These were roughly about 5.5 inches by about 8 inches or so. So these are oversized items. The grading companies do grade them. They do make holders large enough to encapsulate them. So Bender's first card from that W600, I mentioned it's a 1902 to 1911 series, so it's a 10-year period. The first time Bender appears in there is a 1903, the second year of issue. The W600s were printed in 4 different types, depending on what year they were first issued in. The Type 1 was 1902. The Type 2, which is the first year for Bender, began in 1903. The Type 3s were issued in 03 to 04. And the Type 4s, which was the last issue, was beginning in 1906. Everything after 1906 would have been produced on a Type 4 mount. And the way you could differentiate the types is at the bottom of the Sporting Life cabinet where the advertising information is for the newspaper, the Sporting Life. The logo changed 4 different times, and each one of those represents one of the 4 types. So the earliest Bender is the Type 2 W600 Sporting Life. That's one rookie card option for Chief Bender. The second rookie card option, and maybe the more popular one because it's a more traditional card size for that era, the tobacco candy card era. This one is known as the E107 series, also known as the Bryce Williams set. These were candy cards or caramel cards issued between 1903 and 1904. It says on the back 150 subjects, but I believe there's just over 200 in the current checklist, at least that are known as of right now. The Bryce Williams cards set also comes in a Type 1 and a Type 2 version. Very few cards are known in the Type 2 version as compared to the Type 1 series. There's only maybe a dozen or so in the Type 2. So Bender... more traditional rookie card, I would say, is the E107, but the W600, also the Type 3 mount version, would be equally as qualified. The third Bender card we're going to look at is from 1906. So this is the next earliest card after the first 2. So this is no longer a rookie card candidate, but this one is a more reasonable card to try to acquire. The first 2 were extremely low populations. Probably under 10 and possibly under 5 even in the universal pop reports for PSA and SGC. And that's the Bryce Williams and the W600 Sporting Life. So the fan craze is more obtainable. These came as part of a playing board game that was issued. There was one issued for the American League and one for the National League, with the stars of the day in each respective league's series. The Chief Bender, of course, appears in the American League series. Initially, these were cataloged as a 1904 issue for the American League and 06 for the National. That has since, over the years, been updated and corrected to both leagues being issued in 1906. So these are rounded corner cards, usually not too hard to find in pretty decent condition due to the round corners and the fact that it came in a deck with a, like I said, a playing card game. So Chief Bender, 1906 fan craze. One other card from 1906. This one is extremely rare. This is a Lincoln Publishing periodical. They issued a postcard series, all Philadelphia Athletics, that were present on the 1906 athletics team. These are black and white, nice portrait images, very attractive. The populations on these are probably only a couple, two, three, something like that. Next one we're going to take a look at is the Bender American Caramel. It's a 1908 to 1910 series. It's cataloged as E91-A in the standard catalog of vintage cards. These are generic player images that are reused for various players throughout the series. 1908, 1909, and 1910, they made three separate groups. Each group represented the teams checklisted on the back. So you had, depending on the team they played for, the year of appearance would differ. So Bender was the 1908, which was the first year. Next set we're going to look at for Benders, the 1908 to 1909 Rose Company postcards. These were very attractive, green background with a circle in the center with the player portrait in the middle of that, and an ornate gold trim around the player image as well, and the typical postcard back. And these are also very scarce, not quite as much as the Lincoln Publishing. But pops on these are probably in the 10 and under range as well. Next one we're going to look at is the 1909-1910 era now. We're going to talk about the E102. This is one of the related caramel cards, very similar to several other caramels from that same time frame. It's an anonymous issue. We don't know who actually produced the cards. It's just cataloged as E102. And a nice color image of Chief Bender on that one. Next one we're going to look at is a second of those caramel issues, confectionery issues. It's a 1909 E92. This was put out by Crofts Cocoa, so it was a chocolate company. Again, Bender color image on that one. These are also very scarce, populations under 10. The E102s are a little bit more common. Ninth issue for Bender, we have a 1909, another issue from that year. This is the tobacco card. It's the Ramley T204. So these cards had ornate gold bordering around the player image, which was in an oval at the center of the card, with the name and team at the bottom. Bender is one of the top players that was in this issue. Many of the big stars of the day were not included for some reason. Walter Johnson is probably the biggest name that is in the set. So 1909 T204 Ramley Tobacco Chief Bender. And finally, the last Bender card we're going to talk about today is a 1909 W555. So this one's classified as a strip card because it begins with the W designation. These actually came off of candy boxes. They were on the back panel of a box. You had to cut it out. It's a small square card, kind of similar to the Bagor chocolate cards from 1930, similar to that size. And this one includes Chief Bender on there. These are quite low pop as well, probably under 10 for just about all the subjects in that set. There may be just a bit more with the biggest names like Wagner and Cy Young, as people might have held on to those for a longer time period. So that wraps up our top 10 today for Chief Bender, rookie card options, as well as low pop cards for Bender. Hope you got some interesting info there, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.